We got an announcement. The dry week's coming up really quick. What do we got here?
That's right. It's starting, actually, for the life of me, I can't remember which date it is.
Oh.
I know it's still technically February.
Well, I've done my job.
Yeah. 26th.
Okay.
February 26th at noon through March 5th at noon.
Right.
That's Friday to Friday. It's a dry week. Now, we do dry week 3 or 4 times a year. For what reason?
We take an intentional break from consuming alcohol just to make sure there's no issues sneaking up on us there. Also, practically speaking, it's an excellent way to reset the palate. So obviously, this is like an optional thing. Yeah. Optional thing, but we invite everybody in the community to come join us for dry week, and we're going to hang out with a bit of extra time we have, spending a little bit more time in the community. Platforms there, and yeah. What are you going to drink on the dry week there?
I always drink tea. Should I mix it up this time?
Yes, just switch it up. You should learn how to like smoothies.
Oh, God.
It's very embarrassing.
That is not going to happen.
It's very embarrassing having a friend that doesn't like smoothies.
No.
It's very embarrassing.
For you.
And people like,
every time you go to Juice King, they're like, oh, you're the guy who knows. And you're like, yeah.
Oh, another one.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
I am Rex, and this is another.
Yeah, this is another one, also from Richard Amiro.
Richard Amiro, you magnificent
bastard.
These are starting to get accessible, especially at Total Wines, all over.
Yeah.
So if you've got a Total Wine in your area, odds are you can get your hands on it. I haven't actually checked its specs, but this one is actually a malt.
So,
not a grain.
Just really quick, for those that didn't necessarily see yesterday's episode, Method in Madness. It is Middleton and the people that do Jameson and Redbreast and
Green Spot, Yellow Spot, right?
So this is their in-house, smaller scale experimental distillery that they call Method in Madness. So they can really start to color outside the lines, but not put their larger brand name heritage traditions at risk. They can really start experimenting with a lot of the flexibility that is surprisingly available inside of the Irish whiskey category.
I think they're mash bill distilling, but are experimenting, but they're also finishing and aging experimenting. This is single malt. Kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
Bourbon barrel started, French oak cask finish.
I gotta tell you, I don't think, and I'm I may be misremembering because there's been a lot of whiskeys, but I don't think I've ever had a whiskey that was involved in French oak.
Yeah.
That I didn't like.
Oh, that was the finish. Yeah, because Balcones Froke and everybody. Yeah.
Anybody that's basically thinking about whiskey in such a way that they would think, oh, maybe we do some French oak.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't think I've had one.
It's like that and Mizunara. Those are your two things.
That I did not enjoy. So, don't let me down, Method in Madness.
Ooh, banana cream.
Oh my gosh, it's so sweet.
And
it's a bubbly little minx.
There is a grain note in this. Like, it's malty.
This is, what
right?
This
it's
is?
Malt forward.
Yes, with, you ever put your nose in a really fruity white wine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very like crisp.
Yeah.
Like a New Zealand white.
Yeah, like the fresh apples and pears and almost getting to like a tropical.
Which is totally the opposite of New Zealand Blacks, the rugby team.
But banana cream, yeah, and then also some really tropical qualities in there.
Yeah, ringing in 46%. Should I patent the phrase "ringing in it" for whiskey? It's not a thing. I'm just kidding.
So you're recognizing that you say it now?
I know, absolutely.
Yeah.
All the time.
I was like, hey, I think we're off camera, and I mentioned it to Daniel.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, do you realize how much you say ringing
Look,
in?
I've been doing this since early high school.
Wait, I'm Daniel. Ringing in.
Yeah. I've been doing this since early high school. I'll land on a word or a phrase that sticks to me for a while.
Yeah.
And then for like 6 months, I say it almost hourly.
Yeah.
And then I'll slowly become aware it's happening.
Right.
And I'll take measures to correct it.
Right.
And then a new phrase will show up.
You want me to give you a phrase?
I don't know how it happens.
You want me to give you something that you're going to become very subconscious of? Shockingly.
Shockingly. Yeah, no, that's another one. God damn it.
Like, I got like half a dozen more if you want.
No, I know I do this.
I've
done it as long as I can remember. I don't know why.
Okay. Already on the nose, I haven't tasted yet, but on the nose, I would say this may be one of the most effortlessly, casually, easy to love because it's so sweet and friendly, and these fruit notes are so
like
widely,
vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, widely loved.
But it is also malt forward. Like this is young barley.
Yeah, again, I think pretty much any Method of Madness, at least the ones that we've had to date, they're not old, super mature whiskeys. It's just a really nice, interesting, often unique set of flavors in there.
Ooh. This is the most Irish of any Method Madness we've tasted so far.
You know what?
Just straight up buttercream.
You know what this reminds me of? It's wanting to be Green Spot.
You know what it's missing though? Green apple. Green apple and coconut, actually.
See, I get the little hint of the coconut.
I could see the coconut. It's definitely the direction of like coconut snow cone.
But
where it's like obviously fake coconut.
But you can tell this is the distillery that also releases Green Spot.
Yeah.
Because I'm finding a lot of commonalities in there. I think Green Spot's going to be a nicer, a little bit more balanced and mature, refined whiskey. But those flavors, if you like Green Spot, that's going to be a really nice.
Now that you've said Green Spot,
yeah,
my brain is.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, it's really only minus the green apple in the nose.
And I would say this has a little bit more of
buttercream.
The Method of Madness has a little bit more of that straight up tropical vibe. It's wanting to be maybe a little mango in there.
No, that Green Spot, the apples are strong. And
the Method.
Though?
You see what I mean about the Green Spot being more matured, refined, a little bit richer of those flavors, but there's a lot of overlap.
Wow, that's really close.
Yeah.
Really close. That's closer than the flavor drift that we did a few days ago.
Yeah, it is. In was it Kayo?
Yeah.
This is obviously younger. And it tastes a bit younger.
Right.
But I'm confident saying...
Same family.
If you like the Green Spot, it's probably going to be a fun little jaunt over to this to see what's going on.
Even though that's pot still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That once again, the French oak, that track record is solid. We should do French oak.
Sure.
Do they sell French oak?
Well, yes.
Okay.
It's, how much do you like your car? So we could trade it. We could probably get one barrel.
I think you just explained to me why I really have a track record of liking French oak.
Yeah.
Because any distillery serious enough about their whiskey to invest in a barrel that is apparently super expensive.
Well, no,
I know it's not a car.
It's more expensive than a normal bourbon barrel.
I'm familiar with your
hassling.
propensity for exaggeration. I understand. But still, if it's a premium barrel, then this is going to be a distillery that's not trying to do, volume, quantity over quality.
Yeah, they're focused on the craft and the art of it.
That could be an interesting little telltale sign of whether or not people could actually be doing some really interesting whiskey if it's something you're unfamiliar with. If you see French oak barrels involved, he's like, oh, okay, they're investing in some resources to make this worthwhile.
This reminds me of the cigar trick that I learned from somebody one time that said, if you're unsure about a new line, get the torpedo that has like the torpedo wrap, because what happens is that's the hardest cigar to roll.
Yeah.
And so anytime a brand releases those, the expert rollers are the ones that get assigned to the torpedoes. And the expert rollers also, because of seniority, typically get first shot at deciding which leaves they want to work with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, or in a steakhouse, if you wanted to get the best steak cut in the whole, order it black and blue.
Yeah.
Because you can't pre-cook black and blue.
Right.
And when a chef gets told somebody ordered black and blue, the chef usually goes, I've got this one.
Right.
Because this is somebody who wants the shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it could be another like easy shortcut into somebody to watch and pay attention to.
Okay. One thing we know about the Method of Madness experiment is they're doing a lot of stuff just to see what happens, but also if something becomes, if it turns out really well, then they could adopt it, and some of the things that they learned could end up landing in maybe some Jameson or
Would you feel like
one
this
of the
was too
spots.
much of a departure from the single malt Middleton possibilities?
I think this could mature into just a beautiful whiskey.
Right.
And if they have room in their lineup for a beautiful whiskey where this got some more time
Right.
to develop, kind of, tame some of the shininess, I think there could be room for it. I don't know if there would be too much overlap between this and then the Green Spot, though.
This is way more classic Irish than the last one we did yesterday.
I'm trying to remember the last. Oh, yeah. No, the other Method of Madness.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is recognizably. And I think Green Spot is probably the closest comparison.
Right.
Whiskey Weddle. Oh, is that Mitch? Thanks, Mitch. I like how my name elicits the same response from Rex as a dad joke.
Yeah. This one's from Mitch Weddle. All right.
Damn it.
Thanks, Mitch.
Hey, he's probably the first and only person who's ever gifted me a giant box of dicks.
That's true. Yeah. Huge box
Every
of dicks.
form and
Every variety.
function of dick.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah, that was early on, too.
Box of dicks. It
Yeah.
was like a bachelorette party in that box, man.
Yeah. No, it absolutely was. You know that's where he had to buy them all, too.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's like a Spencer's Gifts
Right.
variety section.
No, my only comfort with that entire experience was knowing that he had to procure
Yeah. He had to
so
go buy
many dicks.
Yeah. All right, we got a trio. You hold a couple of benevolent bastarding. This is all one guy
Yes.
by the name of Ron Willert.
Oh, Ron Willard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron.
Yeah. Ron Willert. We know the Ron.
Willard.
So we had already done these, but he sent the trio from, Total Wine.
Also,
I'm benevolent. We're like some weird dark crystal creatures.
the whiskey trolls.
Yeah. They're friends with the Skeksis, but they can't be bothered to actually do anything.
Right.
They're
just sit down and
they're just too
they got
lazy.
a glass and they
They're like,
Here's dividing, stealing, and drinking.
if you fight me, fight for a friend.
Steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.
With gusto.
It's
That's like,
rage.
it's like,
It's rage.
that's frustrated gusto.
I can't maintain the bottle lord rage. Sam Gallimore. Yeah, the bottle lord.